Hey guys, Mark from markmatthews.com technology blog. Got a new item here to review. This is a hot product right now. This is the DJI Mavic Mini Drone. This guy, what I'm going to do in this video, by the way, is I'm going to show you some things on the drone. I'm going to be in, my face will be here just for the intro. And I'm in the house now. It's nighttime, daylight savings time in the United States. By the time I get home, it's dark by 4:30 here. So I'm going to show you the different points of the drone, sort of like a quick start for someone who's new to this drone or new to drones in general. Just some things to watch out for to get it up and running. It's not an all-encompassing, all-feature. And then I'm going to set it up here in my living room. I have some bright LED lights in our living room down here. I'm going to put the propeller guards on the drone. I'll show you that. And we're going to fly it around so you can see how it works and see the stability. And I did get this on Monday on launch day. I took a half day from work. I had it. Actually, it was in the Philadelphia area. It was like 66 degrees on Monday. Today, the very next day, it's about 28 outside, I think. I did get to fly it around outside yesterday in the daylight, and then maybe I'll append some video there. So the distinctive feature of this, I'm not going to, there's a million videos on YouTube already. Just the distinctive feature is one, it's very small, very lightweight. It comes in at 249 grams. Many of the large countries set a 250 gram rule of, if it's below that, you don't need to, or 250 and below, you don't need to register it with the government. In this case, the United States is the FAA. But to be very clear, people ask a lot of questions on Reddit and the forums. You still have to follow all of the drone rules. Just because this guy doesn't need to be registered, you can't go a quarter mile away from the airport in a major city like Philadelphia and fly this without going through the proper procedures, which is notifying the airport. And by the way, the apps, was it Air Drone or Air Map, have gotten much better, where you can, in a lot of the airports, you can do on-demand request of, hey, I'm only going to fly within 100 feet of the ground, and you'll get an automatic approval. I have not tried that yet. So that's the big distinctive feature, is the 249 grams. But this thing is a full-featured drone. Don't be fooled. It uses Wi-Fi. It doesn't use the proprietary protocol of DJI, but it is proprietary Wi-Fi, I guess, because the range on this thing is several miles. The height, in the United States, you're capped at 400 feet from the ground. And this will get you there. Very stable, and in fact, it has a triple axis gimbal, which is the camera in the front. So even when this thing is rocking between the software and the gimbal, it is smoothing it out, and it's amazing how smooth the video comes out. What else do you want to talk about this? I didn't really plan this through. I also, by the way, so let's say, there's two price points for this. There's the drone alone with one battery and one set of propellers. Sorry, I bought the Fly More combo. It's a $100 upgrade at retail, manufacturer retail, which includes a lot of extra features. Honestly, you get 3 batteries with this. The batteries, I believe, are retailing at $45. So you get 2 extra batteries. Look at it that way. So that alone is $90. So all the extra features I'm going to show are just like included in for an extra $10 if you look at it that way. I would definitely recommend the Fly More package. So I'm going to put the drone down, point the camera down at the drone, and we're going to go through some things. Sorry, I'm talking real fast. I always make these videos way too long. Thanks, guys. Hold on. All right, so we moved over. This is the drone. Again, the DJI Mavic Mini Drone, 249 grams. I may be repeating myself. This is not my first time doing this. The significant thing about this guy is, well, obviously he's small and fits in your, could fit in your pocket, easy to travel with. If you're going to take a drone on vacation, it's much easier to travel this. If you're going to go hiking, look how small this guy is. It, put it in a nice pouch with the controller, and it's easy to carry. But it is 249 grams. Wait, where is it? It's on the right here. And what's significant about that is, I think it was the United States FAA that was the first to adopt a ruling when drones were getting big 5 years ago. It hasn't been that long. That, what defines sort of a professional drone versus a more entry level, almost like a recreational or maybe even a toy drone. And they set the 250 grams as the marker. And anything above 250 grams has to be registered with the FAA, and it's like a $5 or $10 fee. You fill it out online. You're supposed to put you get a code, and you're supposed to put it on the drone somewhere, so that if it's found, they can track it or identify it. So for me personally, I don't think it's a big deal. With this being $249, you do not have to register this with the FAA. I understand from reading online, different countries take that rule to different levels. Why this isn't a big deal to me, the 249, and I'll move on from it, is you still have to follow all the rules and regulations of a drone. I've literally asked people, if you're in like JCPenney's or Kohl's, a discount store in the mall, and they have those like $20 drones at the checkout line when you're ready to go out, they still have to follow all the rules. You can't take one of those $20 drones and go a quarter mile away from the Philadelphia airport and fly the thing, 40 feet in the air. That is breaking the law. So you still have to follow the laws. And by the way, since I've had a Mavic Pro maybe 2 years ago, the iPhone apps and the Android apps for checking if it's a valid area, a restricted area or not, have really improved. In fact, today you can, I think is it AirMap or AirDrone? You can request a waiver even within the region of the Philadelphia airport, and under many conditions it seems like you can just get an automatic approval, flying up to like 100 to 300 or 400 feet depending on how far it is. They've sort of broken things out into sectors. So anyway, hit the camera there, my camera. So that's enough on the 249. You can read more about that online. If you fly recreationally, by the way, you do not need to be certified in the United States. You cannot make any money on it. You cannot use it to make money on it. If you do use your drone to make money, even if you're a real estate agent and you just want to get that flyby of the property, you're making money off that drone. You need to be commercial, and you need to study and pass a test. All right, rambling, getting way off the track here. Obviously, you have 4 propellers here. When I got the drone, the 4 propellers were already attached. Nice feature. These are screwed in as part of the package. So I have the combo, the Fly More package, and it gives a I think the basic drone comes, if you get the cheaper one, comes with the drone, 1 battery, and the controller, which is right there. With the Fly More, I'm going to go through and show you what you get. I think it's the only way to go with the Fly More, specifically just for the extra batteries. So with this guy, you do need to screw in the propellers. They give you a little screwdriver. They say it's only used for this. It's a little different than some of the other drones. My Mavic Pro, you could just pop them in and pop them off. Even my Tello, I have the little $99 Tello, you can do that. When it's in the packaging, it is folded up. Now, I want to review this with you. Sorry, I got to keep that on camera. It's folded up like this. It's nice and compact. So these two flip out this way. When you get it, by the way, there's little stickers on here to tell you. Now, this is where it's different. Don't force these guys out like this. The bottom ones flip underneath. If in my local town we have a carnival and they have one of those water games where it's a rubber frog and you fold its legs underneath and you hit it with a mallet and the frog flies if you get it in the lily pad. This is literally reminds me of that, folding the legs underneath. So we have the drone here. Motors inside. The business end of this guy, I guess it's everybody's interested. I gotta keep this on camera, is the gimbal. So this is a 3-axis gimbal. It can move up, down, left, right, sideways, front ways, forward ways, Willy Wonka ways. It's point straight. It'll keep it, in a normal mode, it'll keep it nice and straight and smooth is what I'm trying to say. Even when this light drone is sort of rocking a bit in the wind, between the software of the recording video and what it can do with the gimbal to sort of accommodate the wind, you could still get a very, very stable image. It's actually, I'm still amazed by drones when you're flying them and you kind of like do that jerkiness, how precise the video comes out in that regard. The gimbal there is a wheel in the controller. I'll talk about that. You can, as you're flying, tilt it down and make it go any of the degree angles to even point straight down. On the bottom of this guy, well, it does have a GPS, by the way, in the unit, even as small as this is. So it uses the global positioning system to determine where it's at, track it, find it, just to stay on course. It also has some indicators on the bottom here. The 2 on the end are infrared sensors, and the one in the middle is more of an optical camera. And so we can also, up to, I keep hitting the GoPro camera, sorry guys, up to I think it was 10 meters, maybe 30 feet or so, it will see the ground and sense the ground and be able to use that to also position itself. So it's doing multiple things to get an idea where it is. They even tell you, like, if you're over some shiny or maybe over a swimming pool, you could actually, it could lose that ability to track from the ground. The infrared sensors, I believe that is sort of helps when it's, getting close to landing and be able to sense the ground. Oh, I keep hitting the camera. In the back here is the battery pack. It's a little stiff. You feel like, when I first was doing this, I thought I was going to break it. There is a little switch in there. You squeeze that to kind of help release. It's just a, let me see if I can show you this. The lighting could be better now. See the little edge there? It kind of goes in with that little lever. The battery just pops in. These batteries alone are retailed at $45 a piece. So I'm going to talk first, my first intro to the Fly More pack. When you buy this thing, again, this is basically what you get, right? One set. You're going to need more than one battery. It takes like 90 minutes to charge the battery. Sorry, to position my legs. Charge the battery. So you fly for 30 minutes, which is great, a great time for a drone. And then what do? You set it up and you let it charge for 90 minutes. You come back, after lunch. So you're going to need more batteries. So if a battery's $45, you buy 2 more of them. That's an extra $90. The Fly More combo pack's $100. You might as well just get the Fly More package. Back here, this little slot is the SD card. It does not come with an SD card. You need to get a higher end SD card for the the HD definition, high definition video you're going to be recording. This is a little micro guy. I picked this up at Best Buy. I think I got the Extreme Plus SanDisk card. I'll put a link to that. And then, like all electronic devices, it sits there and you just kind of push it in and it'll click. Oddly enough, it isn't covered by the protective cover. This is the charging. If you just buy the drone itself, you have to charge the battery in the drone. I will probably never use this because I have the charger. I didn't even talk about that yet. People called out these 2 little sensors here. They're nothing from what we can tell. Either A, they're some future model they'll add something in there, or B, maybe they were supposed to have some optical sensors in there, but DJI just decided to go with the lighter weight. I feel like I'm missing something there on that. I'm not. The controller here is, I'm going to show this in use in a second, but the phone fits in there. This is an iPhone 7 Plus. These are totally, adjustable to different phones, even like iPad minis. They give you 3 of these cords, or at least I got 3 of the cords with my Fly More pack. This is the iPhone Lightning cord. It plugs into the USB port here, or just that connector piece. Actually, I'm not even sure if that's the USB port. This has a battery in it. It needs to be charged. Oh, I know I didn't talk about. The light indicators and turning this guy on. Hey, I'm jumping around. These 3 light indicators, when you push this button once, it's telling me that battery is charged 100%. To start this up, you hit it once, and then you hit it again and hold it for a second. Oh, I missed it because I was still in battery mode. Let's try that again. Once, and then there we go. That's actually on and warming up. That's an important detail I left out. So I want to tell you that on the controller, here's the power button here on the upper right. Once, I'm at 75%, 3 out of 4. And if I do the same thing once and then hold it, the controller turns on. Now do the same thing to turn it off. Phone sits here. These joysticks twist off, and in fact, to fit it into the case that I've gotten with the Fly More combo, you need to remove them. So if you notice, I have another set here. They give you a spare with the Fly More combo, and it's nice that you can just store them here. I'm using the spares, so I have double sets here. I don't need to do that. I could just take them off, but it's nice now you can get to see how they sit in there. This button here, return to home button. So what the return to home is, when you start up your drone, it's going to connect to the GPS systems, and it's going to sort of identify, it will identify where it's sitting, and that becomes the home spot, and you can actually force it to reset that. And so this button, if your drone gets far away, you just want to get it back, you push that button. I will tell you, there's a couple different return to home modes. There's one that tripped me up. There's a low battery return to home mode, and I was flying this thing through the woods behind my house. The trees are 10 feet off the ground. I'm sorry, the branches and what's left of the leaves. I didn't realize the battery was dying, so the return to home mode kicked in, and the setting was to go up to 50 feet and then return home. So when the battery was dying, it actually went up into the trees, and luckily I was able to stop it. Let's see. These are the antennas for the Wi-Fi. The drone has a Wi-Fi. This has a Wi-Fi. That's a, just to clarify a misnomer, your phone's Wi-Fi and your house Wi-Fi has nothing to do with the drone. You're using the phone really for the screen and the application to do additional management of the drone. The Wi-Fi is really coming from this controller to the phone, or I don't know, one's doing the signal, one's doing the receiving. These antenna help you do the signal. One thing I read, if your drone's out in front of you and you're flying this way, keep your antenna like this so the signal's going out like that. If you are flying with the drone above you, it may be better to put them like this, because that actually will help get the signal, above it. See that? If you guys heard the first version of this, you would know that I didn't even get around to saying that. 2 buttons in the front here are for the video mode and the photo mode. So you can stop and start the video with this. You can also do it in the app. I'll show that. And then this is the for photos. And I believe, if you're in, say the video mode, and then you click the photo button, the first time what it does, it'll flip the drone over to photo mode, and then the next click is, say a photo. And then after that, each press will take a photo, and similarly with that. And right here is a little wheel. So this is minorly funny. I didn't realize, in my Mavic Pro, I could rotate the gimbal down. Here's the gimbal, which is the camera, and down. So you're up high in the air and you want to sort of get a straight down shot or a different angle. And, I had a wheel, I think it was over here. And I posted on one of the Facebook groups, hey, why can't I do this with this Mavic? I literally never saw this. I looked at this. I used this drone for 2 hours yesterday. I looked at it today. I never saw this wheel. Basically, by going left or right, you are changing the angle of the camera up or down. We'll show that when we fly. And let's see. I think that's about all I have to say. This guy does get charged, and that's it. Let's. You know what? Oh, I didn't even show the. I'm pausing here. I'll probably clip that out. And show why you really need the Fly More combo. Batteries. I have one in the drone. Actually, I'm going to turn this off. With the Fly More combo for the extra $100 retail, you get 3 more batteries. They're a little stiff in here, and it feels like you don't have to pull so hard. You get 3 more batteries. I'm sorry, 2 more batteries, 3 total. So this is interesting. This helps me out. You saw those lights go on. When this is plugged in, the lights will go on, and just like on the drone, on the bottom, 4 LED lights, just like on the controller, 4 LED lights. Each one of these batteries in the charging bay has their own set of 4 lights. Plug the guy in, charge it up. It will only charge 1 battery at a time. It'll determine quickly which battery is the closest to being fully charged, and it'll send all the power to that one. Instead of charging all 3, people have asked, why don't it charge all 3 at the same time? Well, it would just take 3 times as long to get one usable battery. What it does now is it sends all the power from the charger into 1 battery, gets you up and running. If it takes 90 minutes to charge a dead battery, you're up and running in 90 minutes instead of waiting 270, right? This is important too. With this charger bay, use the charger that they give you. It's an 18-watt charger. It's your iPhone charger is probably 5 watts. I think the original iPhones maybe only been like 2 or 3 watts. So this has the extra juice. This has like a quick charge mode. When you use this guy, it's in quicker charge mode. If you use your iPhone cord, it's going to go into a lower charge mode. It also has an extra cord. You do have to charge the controller, as I said. You can even plug it in here and charge off of this. You can actually plug your phone into this and charge your phone. So this is, again, right there. There's your extra $100. Actually, it's more between the 2 extra batteries, and then this thing has a cost. This charging bay has a cost to it. So you're probably at like $120 over the cost of the battery. Just get the Fly More combo. I'm not done yet though. So we got this. We have the case. Look at that, nice DJI Mavic imprinted rigid but soft. It's molded to fit the drone. I will show you. Remember, fold them down. I keep forgetting to bring this down to the camera line. Fold that in. Watch the blades. Tuck it in, it fits. Battery charger fits there. Controller fits here. Beautiful. You know, molded, safe, keeps everything. The only thing it does, it doesn't have, you know, little. I think it would be cool if it had some pouches up here, because also with the Fly More, you get extra propellers. There's extra screws, even propellers. You get the extra charging cords for the different devices, the Android USB or USB-C, if I didn't mention that. Honestly, though, once you hook it up to your phone, you don't need it. And then you have the little screwdriver. But what I found is, even with all the stuff in here, you can actually just set these right on top if you wanted to, and they still fit. And I didn't mention this before. Maybe I did. It doesn't come with a SD card, so make sure you get a high-speed, I did, Extreme Plus card. So I purchased that. The other interesting cool thing is that it comes with these protective cages. So outdoors, you may want to, most people would lean to just flying it without the cages. I'm going to do some flying right now indoors, and I'm going to put these on. I'm going to show you how actually right now I'm going to do it. Let's open up the drone again. That noise you hear in the background is my refrigerator kicking in. I don't know what's going on with that. So with the cages, there are two holes here. There's a round one and one with a notch. You open up these little latches. The one that has the notch in it is the one that matches up with the leg that has a the propeller that has a leg. So it simply just fits in here. Once that's there, now you hear a little snap. Get that there. A little bit of a louder snap. Open that up. Got that in, get that out of the way. Snap. Same thing. Snap. All right, that's in there. That is solid. That is safe. Again, if you can fly these indoors, right? So you're not going to get the GPS. It'll even show it on the app. The little airplane will turn red. You don't have the GPS. You can still fly it in the house. Be careful of low light. It'll use its other sensors. But weird things can happen when it doesn't have its full ability to sort of guide it. And you'll read stories with any drone that, oh, I don't know what happened. It just shot off to the left. It just shot off to the right. You don't want to be in your 20 by 20 living room with your toddlers running around without these guards on, and you're flying it to show them off, and the thing just decides to take off, and you got these spinning propellers. It would be a nasty thing. So hey, if you're in your house, just put the propellers on. You're going to protect your everything that's there. And I'm going to fire up the. Let's move this out of the way. Let's fire up the phone. All right, let me just give my phone a little clean here, get some of the smudge off it. So I did have to take off the case that's on it to fit it into here. So what I've done is I pop that in first. These spread out. This needs to sit flush in there. And then I just pop that in. The first time you do it, it's going to be a pain in the neck. I can still usually get the sensor to work. I have to be careful. It seemed like these grips, which are sort of, they're rubberized there, can put pressure on the phone to throw it off. I'm going to turn this guy on once and then hold it. And then I'm going to turn the drone on once and hold it. And then we're going to go into the app, which I've organized my phone here. Actually, you know what? If I can do this quickly. Trying to turn on the record mode. There we go. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got it. There. Record mode, 3, 2. So this will record my screen if I'm fancy enough to work that in. We're gonna go to the drone. So the drone is on, it's flashing green. I didn't even talk about the sensor there. It goes green, yellow, red. The rate of how it flashes, indicates things. Green means, you're ready to connect. Yellow gives warnings if you lose some of the GPS or some of the, and then red is just bad. I have multiple apps here. I used to have a Mavic Pro, I have a Tello, and here's the DJI Fly app. So let's just push this. I'm going to adjust this camera just a little bit here. So I'm on this main page. Now the first thing, when you first get a drone, it's going to want to do the firmware updates. So it's going to take some time. In fact, this says I got to do an update on the battery. Let's just do that. There's an example. See how long this takes, but I'll talk while it's doing it. So the drone itself has a computer in it. So they just, the day before launch on Sunday, they updated the firmware, new features, better image quality, better this, better that. So what happens is your phone downloads it through Wi-Fi. Once it gets in your phone, the controller connection to there sends it over. What you're seeing right now, and this is a similar thing when you do the firmware. Firmware is going to take a lot longer than the battery firmware. So that's amazing to a lot of people. The batteries themselves, why they are so expensive, have little computers in them, and they have firmware. So I am literally, because apparently this is the first time I've used this battery since they updated the firmware. I am right now downloading, and it's saying updating, sending new software into the drone, which is then putting it into my battery. So 54 seconds. We'll see how this goes, and maybe I'll edit it out if it goes too long. 60. $75. All right, so that just completed its update of the battery firmware. As you notice, if you can see, it does shut down the device. It wants you to restart the whole device. It's like Windows. Oops, once, and then hold, good. All right, so I should be good with the battery firmware. We're gonna let this guy fire up. It's in its sequence where it's warming up. You see the lights flashing. When it turns green like that, it should be good. And in fact, the app just changed. It's saying, hey, I found you. I even know where you're at. You're on Chestnut Avenue. And we're going to click that to connect. So just like that, I've connected. This is the actual camera image coming out of the drone. You can see my M&M over there. What do we want to talk about here? Well, first off, just to start this guy, you know what? I think I may have missed that in the last version. On the left here is the little up arrow. You hit that once, and it brings up this pop-up. You hold this, and you'll see the clock go around. And just like that, the drone's flying. Now I'm going to bring it back down. Because I want to show some things on this app first before we get into flying. Payload mode enabled. We'll talk about the payload mode in a second. All right, so the main buttons here. First off, as I said, that's the start. That's also the landing. You hit it once, and just so you don't inadvertently do it, you have to reconfirm it with a center click. The modes, up in the upper left here is the P mode. That is general flying, general speed. That's just like the everyday mode. Have a good time. Hit it once, it goes to S mode. That is sport mode. That is speed, fast. You have to be careful in sport mode because, not only obviously does it go fast, it needs more room to sort of change direction. If you're flying towards your house and you want to kind of stop it, it's going to kind of coast more. So just make sure you give yourself some leg room. The third mode is Cine-Smooth mode, which is just a slower, smoother. It's not as jerky with the movements. You're filming your friend's wedding. You want to get the nice shot. They're getting married at the edge of the woods, and you want to kind of zoom in. Maybe you put it on Cine-Smooth mode to capture that nicely. Up here is the video photo mode. So I am in photo because this is white. I'm in photo mode. So I'm going to hit that and take a picture. To change the settings on things, so here's photo, I'm on single shot. If I want to change the video quality, Right now I'm on 1080. I am a fan of 1080. I put my GoPro 1080 60, so I can pick, it's levels. Video mode, 1080, and then the frames per second. So I'm at 60. I set my GoPro at 60. I just keep everything at 1080 60. I know it's going to look nice if I edit it together. Down here is the edit mode if you want to see, the playback mode if you want to see the videos. Here's one of me when I first got it, flying. So this is important. In the SD card on the device in the back, it's recording at the full resolution that you're set. Over the wire though, in this amped up enhanced Wi-Fi, which can go 2 miles, a mile, and 400 feet high, it's sending 720p video to your phone, which is more than what you need to just guide this and fly it and see the video. So in the app right now, I have the 720p video. If I want to get the full quality video, I have to get the memory card out and bring it into my computer. So this video is actually in the app. If I go to my photos of the iPhone, it won't be there. You have to actually, when you like something, you have to go up here and click that. And do your options of saving to video. So that is now copying it to my phone, and I'll have it in photos and I can send that to people. So now you see this is red. I clicked the video last. So there are 2 different modes, video and photo mode. Right now I'm recording a video and I can flip that off. If I want to change to the different modes, what I typically do is go back to these buttons here. That's the easiest way. This is the video button, this is the photo button. So I click that on the right, you can see I changed the photo mode. If I click it again, I'm taking a picture. If I go back to the left button, click it, it'll change the video mode. Now it's not recording, you gotta be careful of that. You hit it again, and you're recording video. That is now in my app. Up here at the top, take off with caution, little warning it's giving me. Pre-flight checks, no GPS signal, unable to hover, fly with caution. That's because I'm in the house. I'm gonna put this back on P mode. Up here, this red plane is saying, I think it's a plane, that I don't have GPS. That's my Wi-Fi strength. This is the battery on the drone. Flight time, I have 17 minutes of flight time. 34 degrees Celsius. That's the outside temperature, so it's probably skewing the flight time down, thinking it's really cold, but I'm in the house. This is distance measurements here that we don't have because we're not flying. We also have some things down here, height, distance, and then if you click that, it brings up an actual map that you can see where you're at. Oh, hit the wrong button there. And then this is important here. This is the settings that we check. So first is safety. It's set it to go 393 feet high. In the US, 400 is the max, so I'm safe with that. You can see this controller allows you to go higher. I don't see the need for it. Max distance, 6,500 feet. It's more than a mile. Return to home altitude. This is what caught me up in my trees. It's set on 49, and when it went to return to home, it tried to go up to 49. Update home point. When you start this thing up, first off, I didn't say this. Maybe I didn't. When you turn it on and it's sitting on the ground, give it 30 seconds, 15 seconds to sort of sync up. It's got to find a GPS satellite or several out. Louis C.K. does a funny thing about people on airplanes and not getting internet connection on their phones. It's like the signal is going into outer space. Give it a second, will you? When you connect to the GPS, you're going to have all the right guidance things going. It's also going to reset your home point so it knows where your home point is. So when I'm talking about the battery going dead and it wants to return home, or if you click this button here, return home, it's going to go back to that point. So give it a second, as Louis C.K. says. In the advanced settings here, there's a payload mode option. My understanding is, people commenting on my YouTube videos, when you have the cage on, or there's a guy on YouTube that's actually put a GoPro on top of the drone, this little light drone, and flew it. You put the payload mode on. We'll go back to the controls here. Control, leave it at, I left it at position. Oh no, this is position mode. So that's what we were just going through. I put it on Imperial. This is what I meant. I left it on follow mode. It just works for me versus the FPV mode. There's a gimbal calibration, stick mode too. I left that. That's the default. It's the same as my Tello, same as the Mavic Pro. And then there's a flight tutorial. Camera, I did switch that to 16:9. This is my SD card. Transmission in the United States is 5.8 gigahertz. Over here, you know, I kind of skipped over this. I should have talked about this first. When you get a new drone, or if you haven't flown it for a while, or you go to a brand new location, you go on vacation or something, you really should calibrate it. You need to calibrate it. So there's the IMU normal and the compass normal. You know, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but the two different versions are, well, I got the cage on it now, but with the IMU normal, you fold it up like the frog again. You set it down, you hit the button, and a little countdown clock will come on, like when I was refreshing the battery firmware, and it'll set the IMU. The compass is different. The compass it'll give you instructions. You need to do 3 different things. You hold it this way and you turn it. Then you hold it this way and you roll it, and then you also spin it this way. And it only takes, my legs are getting cramped. It only takes a minute or two to get through that, but it sets the compass. Do it definitely with the new drone. You'll see stories on the internet of people getting drones and like, I don't know what happened. I just went up with it and it shot off across the yard and it hit the neighbor's house. It's happened to me with my Mavic Pro that I got 2 or 3 years ago. No damage to it, but I knew enough to do all those things first. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about this guy? That's it. I already had it up in the air. I'm gonna, I think, shut this down, the camera, move it over so I can just fly around the living room for a little bit, and you can see my M&M guy, and we'll post this on YouTube. All right, so we got the, we're in the living room here. It's mostly clean here. Sorry, hon. We do have a big Labrador dog. There he is. Hey, Dyson, say hi to everybody. He's not a big fan of the drones. He doesn't freak out. Oh, he's coming. He thinks I'm calling him. I'm going to fly, buddy. Look, I'm going to fly. He's not a fan of the drone. But Dyson likes to tear up furniture, and not furniture, but blankets and things. All right, let's, I'm going to fly this, buddy. So we're going to open up the app. The drone is on. I just remember it being on. We're going to hit this. Dyson, over here. Come over here, buddy. He's going to... So, I kind of jumped into that. I wanted to get the dog out of the way. I pushed this button here, hit the takeoff, and now we are flying with the drone in my living room. I'm using the left controller here to spin. Up and down, moves it up and down. And then this really is for sideways movement, and then we can go forward and backwards. And I can rotate. You know what? It just becomes natural. So, because this is red, I'm on video mode. So right now we are recording. I have the cage up. I already had it on payload mode. And look, this is flying very stable and steady. You can look at that. You can even see the battery indicators from underneath. Oh wait, look at that. Obviously I'm in the house, there's no wind. But there's no GPS either. So look how stable that is. Flying. Oh, so I want to show, once that's close, you can see the gimbal camera there. I hope you can see that. I'm going to use this wheel here, and we're going to make that guy move. So now I am shooting straight down, and we're going to go back up with it by spinning the wheel the other way. Nice, gentle movement. Now it's nice and straight. So one thing I'm doing too is, notice I have the lights in the room here very, very bright. As bright as they can be. I want to give this drone a fighting chance. It doesn't have the GPS tracker because I'm in the house, and its next thing to do is use, you know, the ground base, I guess, downward cameras and infrared. If it was dark in here, it's going to be not a good experience flying. So let's just crank up. Look at you, look at you. You liking it, buddy? Huh? When I got the Tello, he was really freaked out by that, but he just got used to it. So we're not gonna do anything fancy here. I just want to show this thing flying. Again, left and right. Oh, I just saw an error, but I missed it. It's telling me I'm in flight. I'm still recording. I don't have any GPS. Now we're gonna land it. So similarly, I'm gonna push this button. Whoops. You have to hold that down for a second, and it's going to come down, and it's using the sensors on the bottom to determine where the ground is. Now we didn't even look, so right now I just should have pointed this out. It knows that it's at 0 feet and 0 miles an hour, so it gives you all those set. Let me turn that off. There's advanced features, I guess, for adjusting the camera. I haven't even really messed with it that much. It's just got this warning for taking off. Hey Dyson, how are you, buddy? You good now? So that's it. That is my intro. Talked way too long. Mavic Mini Pro. Let's fly it in the house safely with the propeller guards video. Hopefully I'll edit this up quickly and get it on the YouTubes. Say hi, Dyson. Thanks, guys.